Yes, guys. Welcome back to episode 9. I think it's episode 9 of the Blue Balls podcast. Big up to everybody that's locked in. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, check out everybody's socials and all that crap as we delve into everything in the latest week of Chelsea. As you can see, we're all dressed in black because it's funeral settings right now. Nothing really to smile about or to celebrate or anything, but we're going to try and put a smile on you guys' face within the next hour. So, guys, if you do enjoy the content, again, hit the like button, subscribe, press the bell notification, get your hat trick for Chelsea Fan TV because none of the bastards we're watching are going to do it. So, at the very least, you guys can. And yeah, we lost again. I think we haven't won a game since the last time we did this pod, but what changes? Because I think we're in the same position as the week before. Fata, how has your mental health been going the last few weeks? Are you doing all right, bro?
No, I'm calm, man. I'm calm. Life continues as normal, and I don't really care much what happened on the pitch. I'm just looking for, have a good time and, just keeping my attendance. I haven't missed a domestic league games this season. None. I haven't missed no game in domestically.
Keep the streak going, brother, because it's all we have left. Nina, how have you been coping? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I didn't go to Arsenal because I had to hand in my dissertation the next day, and I just weighed it up. I potentially could have pushed it, still gone, but would have been putting myself in a little bit of a difficult situation, and I knew Chelsea would be what it was. But yeah, like everyone's saying, I'm getting a bit more into the habit of being at peace with losing, and I didn't think I'd say that, but I'm a little bit more at peace with whatever comes. So, it is what it is from here on, just chewing the same thing. And yeah, like we said, black to suit the mood around the club right now. Pretty good.
Congratulations on getting the disc sorted as well. Don't sacrifice anything for this lot. Don't. It's not worth it. So yeah, congratulations. And Ben, how are you doing, my guy? Are you coping?
Barely. It's stupid, bruv. It's terrible. We are shit. We are literally the worst club, bar West Ham, in the fucking Premier League at the moment in London.
Yeah, I think it is just West Ham now, isn't it? And even they're like 5 points behind us, and with the run of games that we have coming up, I feel like they're gonna overtake us. I'm not looking forward to Bournemouth this weekend. Level on points, a very big 6-pointer in the race against the drop, and they're in better form than us. I think they've scored more goals than us. It's going to be another disappointing afternoon for the Blues, but we're used to it. We're numb to it.
We've got 5 games left to go, and 3 of them are against the rest of the top 4. Yay. I can't wait for this. Oh, I can't wait to be like.
Hey, do you know what the best part is? If Arsenal drop points in the next 2 games, we could see a title celebration when they face against us.
Yeah, cool.
No. I'd rather they just win it on the final day. I'd rather not just see a team lift the Premier League against. I don't care if it's Arsenal. I don't really want to be celebrating defeat, which means Arsenal don't win.
Speak for yourself. I'm gonna jump into the home end when they score. I've got nothing to celebrate, bro. Speak for yourself, man. I'll go to the point where I'm booing them when they attack. If they turn up for that one game out of everything, that would piss me off differently, bro. Fuck it. At least we get to see some sort of celebration at the end of the season. Because you got a deep up Newcastle. These lot got to come out for a lap of honor or whatever they try and call that.
Guard of honor.
Lap of honor, God, there's going to be no honor about it at all. Who's even going to turn up? Do you remember when we finished 5th? And I think we drew 1-1 to Huddersfield on the last home game of the season. There was 2,000 people waiting there, and they didn't even go round the ground. They went to the centre circle, clapped everybody, and walked off. So you know what? That would be one good end to the season. I will take Man City winning the league on our heads.
It's like when we were winning Come On City. It's like when we were singing Come On City at the last game against Watford, I think it was, last season. if you guys remember.
Yeah, we've been doing that for years.
Same thing.
Like every year, it just turns into celebrating City over anyone else.
Leicester
every
away
year.
Celebrating Liverpool not winning.
They're low-key the best types of atmosphere because you don't care what's happening with Chelsea. Do you remember when Gundogan scored the third goal and then I think Watford equalised and nobody noticed? We were too busy doing the Gerrard chant.
Yeah.
Those are good vibes. Like, that might be the one positive we might have to look forward to. The last day of the season usually feels better when you've got nothing to fight for.
Oh,
I
so
guess there's a bit of a better mood.
So what you're trying to say is basically every game we've played has been our last game of the season then? Since
kind of,
December.
But it doesn't feel the same because there's still another L waiting. At least by Newcastle, there isn't.
Mate, it's going to be an L waiting at the moment when we go to Wrexham pre-season, mate. Like, there's L's everywhere, mate. Like, at this point, I'm tempted just to start, speeding around Stamford Bridge, setting off as many speed cameras as possible, just so that 3 points can be delivered to Stamford Bridge.
That's a good one.
That was a creative one. But that's more likely than fucking us getting 3 points in any of the games coming up. And we'll start off with the last game that we played. Arsenal away, 3-1 to Arsenal. Thankfully, it was only 3 goals because when Jesus made it 3-0, I thought we were going to be looking at 6-0 reincarnated. I don't really know where to start with it because there's so many to get into, but we'll start off with the tactics. And Nina, I'll go to you with this one. We went back to a 4 again. Why? Do you have any idea of what was going on in Lampard's head? I think it's easier said than done with some of the decisions that we've seen over the last few weeks. But what was your initial thoughts when you saw the starting lineup?
Well, I've had a lot of laughing reactions to the last probably 3-4 lineups that Frank has put out. I think it's kind of like a competition which one could be the worst, but at least we had more attacking players this time around. That was a bit of a positive. I was happy to see that Madueke started. But yeah, like you said, back 4, it's just like we've seen that something doesn't work and then we've seen stuff that do work. But instead, it seems, and this goes for Potter as well, because he did the exact same thing, ignoring positive glimpses, like the few we've had all season, and just putting out something that just doesn't work has proven to fail many, many, many times. And also, can I just ask, is Badiashile not available? Like, what is going on with this guy? Where is he? Because it's like I said, if I'm talking about few positives we've had this season, he is among those positives, yet we have left him out to dry like a lot of our other players. And for a player that young with such good composure and such good quality, and I think he's had a few good defensive moments in games where we have really, really needed that. And when, Thiago Silva was out for a bit, yeah, we have just completely ignored that. And we've just left him on the bench when he is one of the players that we're going to be building a defensive lineman and team around. So a lot of questionable decisions. It's not just the back 4 that's questionable from Frank. It's just too many to count. And with players like Madueke and like Mudryk, who have been showing quality when they've come on, they've just always been benched. So that something is going to, instead of trying to flesh out everything you can from a positive, you're just kind of shoving it at the back of the wardrobe and just ignoring it. And it's what we've done. And I said that, yeah, we can't score, but we've just limited our chances every single game with those lineups. And you know what? If Frankie's proven anything, he's proven that he's got no clue whatsoever every single game. So I dread to think what the next lineup is looking like against Bournemouth, to be honest.
I feel like with Lampard, there's just been zero consistency in anything that he's said or he's done. Like the Brentford game, way too much respect for that fixture. Played a 5-3-2 or a 3-4-3 with Gallagher, Sterling and Kante up top. Thomas Frank came out in the press conference and said they gave us way too much respect and we didn't even expect this. And then he goes the other way round and shows Arsenal no respect and plays a back 4 with them. Then he'll say he's not playing the likes of Mudryk because he needs to see more work from him off the ball and more defensive work rate. He doesn't want to play João Felix because he needs to see him do more off the ball. But then Sterling's starting every week. Oba started. And like I didn't have any issues with Oba starting, but like if you're gonna complain about work rate, that don't make any sense to me. Nothing he does makes any sense, and it is fucking confusing. Like, how is Sterling getting so much game time if your emphasis is that much on pressing from the front? It makes no sense to me.
No, it literally doesn't. Like I said, he's just proven that he doesn't really know what he's doing every game. And then I thought Potter's conferences were bad to listen to, and I didn't really listen to any of the last ones, but my goodness, Frank is really coming close second to what Potter's been saying, because it's the same. We don't need to hear that the season's been hard. If anything, we know the season has been hard more than anyone else, and like, with all due respect, Frank, we've had to watch it in person, on TV all season. We know it's tough, and yeah, you could argue that there's been a series of difficulties at Chelsea. It's not just been one single problem to deal with. Yeah, we get that, but the decisions that you make on match day, during match day, with substitutions, with players that you put out, with players that you bench, with rotation, it doesn't make sense. And like you said with Felix, I genuinely don't understand. One of the most expensive loans that we've seen recently. We don't know if we're keeping him or selling him in summer. He was out for a month because of a red card, so the days he has at Chelsea are even more limited, and yet he's not featured in any of the last starting lineups, or has not even come off the bench. So a lot of questionable choices. And like you said, we're bringing on Ziyech, we're starting Sterling game in, game out. So there's it's not making sense. The few positives we've had all season, you've chosen to ignore, and you just keep trying out what has failed all season. At this point, I'm pretty sure I could pick better lineups. Like it's just a joke at this point.
I'm thinking. I'm starting to think Lampard's press conferences are worse than Potter's, and I thought it was the one thing he'd have over him. But with Graham Potter, my problem is he just sounded too laid back. Like he'd draw a game and he'd say, "Oh, that's life," or something, or "the boys gave everything," or "we won on XG and made more chances." Like, no, I get what you're trying to say, but I mean, fucking come on, man. Can we try and get some results? Lampard is just straight up lying to us. He's doing one thing one week and doing another thing the next week. There's no structure. There's no patterns of play. He looks as confused as Potter did on the touchline. Potter would just sit down and do nothing. Lampard stands up and does nothing with his arms crossed. It's an even faker version. At least with Potter, I thought, okay, it's a little bit of inexperience. Lampard, you've been here. You've been at this club before. I feel Lampard, the player, would be going to Roman about Lampard, the manager, and saying this guy isn't good enough for us. And it just shows, I think he's even downgraded from his last time at Chelsea. He was smarter then. He made more smarter decisions then. He even got us to top 4 with a squad that didn't deserve it. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's got to leave this. This has to be his last managerial job. Respectfully, please go back to punditry. You were a good pundit. I liked you as a pundit. I enjoyed the shows when you were on punditry. You're killing your credibility, bro. Ben, I don't know if you got anything else you want to add on to this, but what's been your whole thoughts?
It's just vibes, isn't it? We were so done with Potter that we couldn't recover the season. I mean, giving it to Frank, who didn't really succeed before, hoping that he can get something out of it for morale reasons. But no, it's just been it's just been a shit show, really. And yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I hear you. Fata, I want to go to you on this one because it isn't just the manager. We got to be real about everything that's been going on with Chelsea, and we're hopeless in general. The players, I was worried that they were going to be on the beach after the Madrid loss. They're on the beach. Even the likes of Silva and Enzo are looking sloppy as hell. If we even brought in, let's say, Poch to take over to the end of the season, you think he could even inspire a tune out of these players for the next few games?
Losing, I feel in this case, is not an issue. It is watching players who have obviously given up and utterly horrible. Plus, he got cowardly coaching on the touchline. There isn't much to enjoy, and it's also absurd to say that I feel like this season has got nothing to play. It's too cheap, I would say, to rationalize some mediocrity on our team and persuade ourselves like everything will be okay by the game of 38. But I fully see the motivation cost. Like, at the end of the day, since when we are waving the white flag is unacceptable. We all know the regular players are, and for some reason they're still starting games. So in that case, you said Pochettino come in. Strangely enough, like I believe if we bring in Poch next season, we are only half a crucial addition away from being a team that can compete in terms of quality. But his toughest challenge will be changing the club's mentality, because at the moment we are physically weak, we're mentally weak, and attitude itself entitlement without responsibility, and that's what he's got to overcome that before next season.
That's facts.
I think, yeah, Pochettino's got a massive job between now and I think the next year or two, if it even goes through. Because I've seen a lot of people are starting to get worried about this whole Poch appointment because we've heard nothing over the last 6 days. I feel like it's still likely to happen only because we haven't heard anything negative just yet. Like Nagelsmann, we heard Nagelsmann pulled out. Enrique, we heard that Chelsea dropped interest in the manager. We've heard of fallouts as they've happened. With Pochettino, it's like, when you're just taking it really slow and you're getting to know someone before you fully link up and get into a proper relationship and all of that. It's like you're just doing a first date, second date, third date, fourth date sort of thing. Anybody worried about the Pochettino appointment, or do you feel a sense of calmness on that?
I mean, I think the only reason, well, some people are saying that actually Poch is having second thoughts about it, which, I mean, can you blame him? But I think if Todd can't afford, or the ownership can't afford to mess this one up. This is it. You can't afford to mess up who comes in now. We're not spoilt for choice. There's limited people available now. Literally the clock has been ticking, and from here on, whatever decision we have to make has to be the right one. Because bringing in Potter for 5 years and thinking that this is where we stop changing managers season in, season out, and that this is where we get some consistency was obviously the biggest, bad decision there. Sacking Tuchel, there was never really a true plan B to Graham Potter, and that's why we are where we are now, because Todd didn't see this crashing so, tremendously. So I think with Poch, to answer your question, though, is should he come in now? Absolutely not. It's not Poch's job to manage and to how do I say this, to convince players that they should want to play for Chelsea. No, those players first need to go in summer, and then Poch should be able to come in with a kind of call it a clean slate with all the players that want to be here, that are here. Well, they're locked into 7-8 year deals, so I'd hope that the rest of them still want to be here. We're hearing certain players are kind of starting to regret their contracts, but you're in now. So, however, my point is that Poch needs to deal with the players that his job is to build a team, obviously with players that want to be here. For starters, you can't really, doesn't matter who you are, if someone doesn't want to be somewhere, that's just life. Nobody can force you, nobody can kind of change your thinking or all of that stuff. I really do hope, I mean, I'm kind of settled with the thought now of Poch coming in. Quite frankly, there's not really anyone else. Still, I have faith that he probably will, but I worry if not, because what happens then? Because then we're just going to be scramming around to see for anything possible, anything we
Vincent
can have.
Company. Let's go.
I think everyone's going to... I think we're going to be hearing Potter back in after that.
Yes, you probably would. I don't even want Company to walk into this. He's a good up-and-coming manager. I like what he's doing at Burnley. Do not ruin him with the Chelsea job, because it will break him as a manager. I think he knows it himself. I don't know if he'd say no to an opportunity like that. It would be fucking embarrassing from our side if he did, but I wouldn't even blame him.
At this point, you could. At this point, you might as well write a new dissertation called "How to Derail a Club in the Last 12 Months." Just write that.
You could get 10,000 words on that, definitely.
Honestly, I'd write them off the bat.
You get extra bonus for that, but the psychological issue is that after this season, whether Poch coming or not, the capacity to feed these players to become the winning mentality is not going to be that easy. New players coming in need to be serial winners, not kids. It's perfectly evident that a key for this project to be success is that experience in our team. We literally, how many? Well, can you name any averaging squad? Like, I think we've got the youngest squad in the league right now. You literally throw in the likes of Enzo Fernandez, Wesley
I think it's
Fofana,
one
Madueke.
because we got so many players. Our average would go up a little bit. But I see what you're trying to say as well. And once we have it clearer, I think we're going to have a much younger squad too. It's just hopefully Pochettino will be the guy to manage it because I don't know who we go to if it's not him. You're looking at Company, Conte, or God knows.
But deep down, whoever comes in has to have there's no if, buts, or maybe. Whoever comes in has to have winning mentality that he's going to install in the squad. Because if you think about it, yeah, okay, your manager is your leader, but then you need leaders in the dressing room as well. Can you guys name any that are going to be potentially from? Well, there's no one. Who else is going to be left from like the old or the winning kind of old Chelsea? Nobody really. Who are the leaders? Silva, yeah, of course, but for like the long-term project, there's going to be none of those players really left. So you're going to have to make those players the new leaders essentially of the future. Like that's it. It's going to be a complete new rebuild, or hopefully.
I think people just need to step up personally because that's a fair point. I don't look at anyone and see outright leaders other than Silva, Kante, and even he would be more of a quiet leader.
But he's questionable now, isn't he? Because he's not. Is he in contract talks right now? And what's obviously the situation around there?
We haven't heard anything, but I would be surprised if he didn't resign. I'd be very surprised. But I get as well, like there still hasn't been anything completed yet. Maybe James, but that's it. I'd like to see the likes of Enzo, Mudryk step up. Like, you guys are here for 7 years. You need to step up and show those leadership characteristics. I actually think Mudryk would make a very good leader if he builds himself up into that because he looks like he's got the right mentality for it. But yeah, it's speculative. It's very speculative because you need to see people grow into that sort of a role. And I feel like that just forms itself over time. When there's no leader, someone takes up the role eventually. Just have to wait and see who steps up. But I do think someone will turn up. Just a question of who. Haven't got a clue. In terms of players who could still be here, though, João Felix. There's been a lot of questions over whether to keep or sell him. He hasn't had a lot of game time over the last few weeks. Lampard's dropped him. Again, like we said earlier, he wants to see more work from him off the ball. I don't know where I stand with João Felix because I don't think he's been given a lot of time. You can't do much in a 6-month loan spell, especially with the squad that we have, the position that we're in, and just all the mess that we have on and off the pitch. But he's also not done enough to justify being worth 85 million. There's questions about his creativity, his selfishness, even his finishing, which, to be honest, I'm not really onto him too much about. But there's a lot of pros and cons with the whole João Felix situation. Ben, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts been on João Felix's spell at Chelsea so far? And what would you do with him?
I think he's just got majorly unlucky. I think he has been a standout performer. It's normally like the guys who are the standout performers that, get picked on when they have bad games. So people highlighting that just shows the ability of João Felix and what he can do. But, the West Ham game, after he was back from suspension, he looked absolutely lively, all over the place. And, he was bringing that sort of freshness to the Chelsea team, linking up with like Enzo, seeing Enzo in the midfield with him. As opposed to obviously the finishing, like I said, it's unlucky because the amount of times he's hit the post, the amount of times he's hit the bar, the amount of times he's hit, he just got so close to scoring. And it's just, if anyone else had hit it, it might have gone in. But because he struck it, it's just bad juju, innit? But in regards to keeping him, I'd keep him. I would actually fork out for him because I think he has got that creative ability. He's still young. He can still, dwell into that big club position and bring good things to the club, I think. So, I'd say go for him because it's going to be a lot better than anything else that we can perform at.
Fata, what are you feeling about the whole Felix situation?
Sadly enough, I think he's one of my favorite group players this season alongside Enzo. And at the moment, in a struggling team that we are currently right now, does anyone really think in an informed team with the real direction that kind of have like a playing style will be vital and successful again? And I feel like he can be good and he can be a monster in the future with the proper coaching. Let's say Pochettino can get the best out of him. And I would say for him, it's just he needs to keep more work on the when to release a pass, or maybe instead of trying to dribble the whole field, finding a teammate, creating a space instead of shooting from possible angles. And I think he'll become good with under Pochettino, in my opinion, for next season. And we'll not be surprised if we're going to get some clear out this summer and we're going to buy him in one go.
Yeah, ideally we could get a second loan spell. I feel like that would be the best situation for all parties. But let's just say, for the sake of it, if we couldn't get a loan deal sorted, keep, sell, what we all feel. Nina, I didn't get your thoughts as well, so I'll get to you quickly.
Yeah, like Fat said, I think Joao has been one of the kind of those small rays of hope that we've had this season. I think he's been exciting. He also came in a time where we were literally hoping for dear life just to see anything nice on the pitch, with the suffering with so many poor performances, poor defeats. I think we were especially excited to see Joao, and I think he didn't disappoint when he came. I think he brightened up our attack. He really brought a lot of ideas. I think he's really technically gifted as well, kind of stand out in that respect among our team. But like Fata said, it's not quite the end product. The end product quite isn't there. I think our goal statistics could have been a lot higher this season had he finished a lot of those chances, not hit a crossbar, kind of been a little bit more on target. However, the attitude is there with him as well. And in a season where the criteria is so low in terms of attitude and kind of motivation, I think he's really been up there to come into such a mess on a loan as well, and to try and put on your best performance and still try and start games and have the same kind of attitude game in, game out is quite special. It's been important this season. If we're going to have to pay an astronomical fee, maybe you've got yourself a debate there. However, I do think that, like, if we bring in Poch and we start to kind of play more as a team, because right now we've been playing as individuals, and obviously Joao as an individual has really stood out because of how good he is at dribbling through players, getting out tight spaces, but you can argue that he's not had the best support from his teammates either. So at times he has had to work on his own to get the ball up to to the box, and then he's got 4 man on his back. What else is he supposed to do? He's not received the support that he's needed at many times. But I think he has brightened up our attack, and he's exciting to watch as well. In a team where everyone's performing next season, hopefully I'm manifesting that. In a team where everyone is performing, we've got a good manager in place. I think he fits in very, very well into that squad potentially. So yeah, end product isn't there. A lot of people saying that number 11 is a bit of a Timo Werner kind of hangover there, but like I said, I think with the right training, the right people around him, with the right support, he could be very special. Like I said, the technicality is there, the attitude is there, the motivation is there. If the end product is there as well, then you've got yourself something really special.
I hear that. I hope Pochettino would like to use him. My only worry is because he does like pressing players. Felix ain't really that sort of a presser. That might be the only difference within him joining Chelsea or not, but at the very least, if the manager wants him, and we can't. I think the number one thing we shouldn't be doing is going against the manager from minute one. But it does segue to a very interesting discussion. I don't think we brought this up the last time we were recording, so I do want to bring it up now because I'm interested to see people's perspectives. Let's say Pochettino wanted to use Lukaku next season. How are we all feeling about that? Because I know no one wants to see him back at Chelsea. I'm with you guys on that. I'm not running that R9 gimmick anymore. And apologies to Brazilian Ronaldo for disrespecting his name like that. One of my biggest L's. It is what it is. But if Pochettino wants to get a tune out of Lukaku, and if we can't get any other options in, let's say Tony's banned for a year or two because of the betting situation, Osimhen's too expensive, Vlahovic goes to another club, for example. How are we feeling about a potential return for Lukaku? Again, if Pochettino wants to use him. Ben, what are you feeling?
Oh, mate, I don't know, to be honest. I'm actually speechless.
I don't blame you, bro.
I don't know. I just no. This one's caught me. I can't lie. Like, I just can't answer it. Like, I generally can't answer it.
Because for me, if the manager wants to use him, I believe Poch will get him fit. He's heavy on fitness, and I feel like Lukaku needs a manager like that. Because it worked out in spades for him at Inter Milan with Antonio Conte. I don't like it. I don't want him back either, and I think Lukaku has to make a very big apology to the Chelsea fans if this was to happen.
He's not going to be forgiven. I'm sorry, but he's made it clear he doesn't want to play for us. So I don't see why he should be up front. But like he is going to go down now. Like, you know, he wanted this second Chelsea return. He wanted to do this. He wanted to do that. And he's come out and basically bit the hand that fed him completely off, as opposed to just biting the hand that feeds him. He's not going to be welcome at the Bridge. You know, there's going to be guys who remembers the stuff that he says. You know, they're going to see him and they're going to, well, you insulted the club. Why would you want to play for us ever again? Get out.
But even if he bags goals, because let's be real, if he's scoring goals, no one's going to care.
I don't see him scoring goals, though. I think he's washed.
If he doesn't, it's going to get dark very quick for him. But
I think he's just going to basically just be another Aubameyang, mate. You know, maybe he gets one or two early on, goes missing, doesn't play again, comes out, says another bad thing about the club, and then he's done.
I think Oba's different though. Oba, I don't know.
No, I'm not saying Oba's sacked off the club. Obviously not. No. Before anyone says, I'm just saying that obviously, playing wise, you know, it'll be the same. You know, where he just goes missing for some weird reason.
Yeah, Nina, what are you thinking? A second or third chance for Lukaku? But what are you feeling?
No, I have massive trust issues of that now. Like, I keep preaching attitude. For me, it's a big thing. It makes all the difference in the world. It's just as important as what you put out physically on the pitch. And like we've seen, like Lukaku is just someone that doesn't really look like he is dying to be at Chelsea. You know, he doesn't sell it. He doesn't sell it in the interviews. Doesn't sell it on the pitch. But if Poch genuinely believes that he is fitting to be up top for us next season, I have to trust that. I mean, I have to trust that Poch knows, you know, there is potentially the argument that we've got a lot more, or we will have a lot more people creating for Lukaku next season. So with the experience as well, potentially if we're sitting there and we've got we're building around a young squad and a young squad of creators and defenders and whatnot, and you've got that experience up top with the history of goals he scored, well, maybe. But like I said, I've got massive trust issues. If it was my decision, if there was more to pick from, then he wouldn't be my first choice. But if Poch, and I repeat, if Poch thinks that he is, you know, he is the man for the top of the field, then yeah, okay. But like Ben said, I'm a bit skeptical, and obviously we've got reasons to be.
Oh, I don't blame anybody for being skeptical on the Lukaku front. Even I am. That's why, like we're all saying, this has to be only from Poch. If it's Pochettino saying it, fine. I'll put my hands up, be like, you know what, I trust you. This is your decision, your W, your L, live or die by it. Bata, what were you feeling, bro?
I'm more of a concern about the build-up play, because Poch is just that type of coach that likes to use as from the build-up from the centre backs, then to get that double pivot with Enzo with someone. Let's say, for example, just in case we get Lavia or maybe Caicedo or maybe Ugarte this summer. He likes to play alongside with double pivot, and then because the fullbacks, the likes of Reece James and Ben Chilwell, like to play up high in the final third. Literally, it gives license a lot from the midfield, build the attack to the front line, and with Lukaku coming into that Poch system, is he gonna laugh by it, or is he gonna be the one that gonna be scapegoated because he doesn't move much, because he's standing there like a statue? You never know, innit? But if Poch does trust Lukaku that much, like you said, like I don't have any problem with that. But at the end of the day, it's just for me, I'm more concerned about the formation and his style of Pochettino's style of play, and whether Lukaku will fit into that system.
See, I hear at the pressing front. The only thing where I can't believe I'm going to stand up for him here, but the only thing where I feel like I can back Lukaku with is that the midfield, like when we had him, they just overplay to death. So many times he'd make runs and like Jorginho overplays it, or Kante will take too many touches. Ruben, Saul, Mount, Havertz, you name it. Like we're overplay FC at times. Now we've got
I forgot Saul
Enzo.
Niguez was a player.
Yeah, like I forgot about him. He's like one of those streets won't forget players for us.
Oh, don't
But
worry. I
we've got the
forget
likes of
Havertz
Enzo.
every week. I forget Havertz plays every week. It's fine.
Don't blame me.
Oh.
But now we've got better creators coming in. We've got Mudryk, who's already in. Enzo, I feel like we're going to be bringing in 1 or 2 new midfielders as well. If we can move the ball a bit quicker. Rice, I think, is going Arsenal, my friend.
Let's get Rice. Let's get Rice in. Let's do it.
Hey, I don't mind. I'm not anti-Rice. I just think it's a little bit unlikely. Not anymore, innit? Not anymore. But the point still stands. Like, I just don't think he's joining us. If he does, brilliant ball carrier. If he can release the ball quickly, we're on to something good. That's the number one thing we need. And if we have that, and if Poch wants to get Lukaku in, maybe it would work. But I'm not going to ask you to do it. That's going to be completely up to you. So you
Would
make
anyone
that decision. Go on, Fata.
Would anyone inclined to bring Ugarte?
Or the DM from Sporting Lisbon?
Yeah.
Who did you say again?
Ugarte.
Oh,
depends on the price tag. But I wouldn't be too against it. He's had a very good season over there, and players translate well from the Portuguese league to the English one. Like,
Are they wanting to sell him?
Depends on the money, but the Portuguese clubs usually are. There's always a price tag on their heads. You need to know what the price tag is. But if it's affordable, I think as long as it wasn't anything too crazy like 70, 80 million, I think it wouldn't be a bad move for us. Would make sense from a financial standpoint.
Todd wouldn't mind, don't you worry. He'd pay 100 for him.
Yeah, don't worry. Todd's got
player
money
swap.
to burn. Todd's got cash to burn, son. Don't worry. Good old Toddy.
Let's make another record-breaking deal. Come on.
Yeah, why not? Let's do Harry Maguire for 500 million. Let's go.
Another little 8-year contract.
Whoa. Maybe 10? Double digit?
Whoa.
That's got to be for silver.
At least 12.
Fucking hell, man. We're trying to lock these guys up for life.
Absolutely.
Prison sentences. Dish them out.
Yeah, the Chelsea season about to become a life sentence.
100% feels like a prison sentence. I will say that. Right. I think all we have left is the Bournemouth preview.
Yay!
Wow.
We're going to lose.
What are we expecting from that one?
We're going to lose the end. Thank you for watching.
Riddle me that. It's going to be the same shit again, isn't it? I see it right now.
The statistics speak for
1-0.
themselves. Lewis, the statistics speak for themselves. You don't even need to ask us. They're building on a winning streak. We're building on a losing streak. If you weigh it up, and we're playing away, so that just makes it even better. And it's not an easy ground to go to either, is it? So if we're looking at statistics, which I trust statistics a lot this season because they do speak facts and they're there to show you what reality is. So yeah, I told you, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm just so at peace with going and losing now that it's not even like a, can we win kind of situation. It's more of a, can we draw potentially? That's probably the question we should ask.
Bro, the fact that we went to Arsenal on Tuesday, anticipated an L, just took the L and we didn't even give a shit about it.
Exactly.
We're done. We're finished. Bournemouth have scored more goals than us this season. They've got more to fight for because I say they're a bit worried about the drop. We've got barely any chance of going down, and we're on the same points as them. So I feel like it's just a case of bragging rights. But they're not on the beach yet. No, they've even got a game extra on us, so they're definitely safe.
Well, to be
what are you on about? Bournemouth's always on the beach.
That's a good one.
Hey.
You're such a joker today, Ben. Yeah.
I'm always a joker.
Who do Wolves have? Because they're 2 points. Aston Villa. All right, cool. So
come on, Villa.
Take us. Unai Emery will get a job against them. He's been doing brilliantly. So we probably will only drop to 13th. Thankfully.
We are staying up. Said we are staying up.
We still need that point.
We are staying up.
I'm not chanting that till we hit 40 points, and I don't think we're going
to hit. We're fine.
40 points. We've been asking for this for 4 fucking months, people. 4 months. Now we're in May. We're in May, match day 35, and this fucking club is not on 40 points, bro. You can only laugh.
We've been asking that for 2 months now.
Stop warning us. Sorry, Fata. Go for it.
We've been crying out for 40 points for 2 months now.
Wait, I got a joke. The only top 4 we're fighting for is the 4 in front of 0. That's so
and we're
sad.
losing that one too. And we're losing that one as well.
Hey,
I don't know what Lampard's going to do because I just don't know what goes on in that guy's head. He could play a 4 again. He could play a 3. But one of Sterling or Gallagher will probably start. Because
Vitality Stadium. Check off the list, man. Come on. Vitality Stadium.
Oh, well, have you not been there yet?
I haven't been there yet. It's my first time.
Oh, you enjoy, bro. There's not much to it.
No,
that's a good
it's literally a garden shed, bro. It's a garden shed.
It's not even going to be hot there, you know. I checked the weather and it's raining.
Yeah,
we're going there in May, and I still can't get sunlight at Bournemouth. Every time I go, it's either windy, or it's fucking winter, and it's freezing, and we've got it again. We don't get anything. Not even good weather while we lose.
There is one positive. They don't get to have done a double over us this season. So if we lose, we lose for the first time to them this season.
Yeah, we got 3 points on them. That's one team that's not getting a double.
Woo.
I think that might be the last team. Oh no, United. United didn't beat us. They can hold that.
I'm just waiting.
Liverpool didn't either. There you go.
Liverpool. Thank God, because if Liverpool took any points from us, we would.
We did the double over Palace.
And Leicester.
We did the double over Palace.
Hey, we did. Let's Palace can hold that. Wait, are they above us?
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
No. It's no longer. The question is no longer who's above us. It's who's below us.
Who's below us, and who will still be below us.
I just can't wait for Lampard's. I can't wait for Lampard's final press conference. Yeah, the boys gave everything.
Well, you're going to be listening to it because I won't.
Yeah, no, I'm going to predict it.
Press
I'm going to predict it. Ready? It's going to go. Yeah. So the boys, they played very well, and it's been a very hard season for them. We almost played in the championship. No, I'm joking. The club's fucked.
And it'll say something about how we played with pride and everything. And
that they're really upset. Don't forget, he will tell us that they're very upset in the changing room as well.
And then obviously you'll see Todd Bowley in the background just marching towards the changing rooms.
And so we conceded an average goal. Don't know how it happened. Just an average goal, fluke goal, one off a corner. Just poor.
It'll be poor defending. It'll be like I don't know, a Cucurella stupid challenge. And
he will blame everybody except himself because that's all that he's been doing. He's saying we set up perfectly. I told them what to do, and they went out and did the complete opposite. And it's like, no, you're just not a good coach, bro.
I'm not going to lie, right? If Lampard knew ball, what he would do is start another global pandemic so that Pulisic plays in form.
You know what the maddest thing is he does? That guy was one of the most intelligent football players I've ever watched at Chelsea. This guy has 150 IQ. Where is it? Where is it? Because these decisions are negative 150. They're not positive.
But that's just proof. It's proof that a good player doesn't make a good manager, and a brilliant player doesn't make a brilliant manager either. It's just.
I agree with that, right? But I've always thought we're fans, innit? We'll say our opinions, we'll say our thoughts and everything, but at the end of the day, we're fans. We shouldn't be the ones who knows what's best. Like when Tuchel used to make these crazy ass lineups, I used to think, what are you doing? What is this? Then we go out and we win 3-0. I'll be like, all right, cool. See, this is why I just vlog. This is why you're the manager. Potter, I've sat there for why have you done this, and then we've lost. Lampard, why have you done this, and lost? Even Tuchel, I've thought that at some points this season. The only man just had any sense, Bruno. That's it. And I don't know, but like this is why
Bruno
for me-
still brought Gallagher on when we were 0-0.
I know,
in
but
the
like at
60th
least
minute.
Leave him alone. He's got
Bruno
No.
managed to
Chelsea
win.
manager
Bruno managed
with
to
a 0%
straight win.
loss
That's the
rate
thing.
this season.
Like it was 2 Kovacic misses, Havertz with his dead shots and the offsides. That's the only reason why we didn't win. I look at that one; it's been our best performance since.
Well,
Dortmund?
Liverpool away. It was
Oh,
actually
dear.
Liverpool away.
Away. We
Liverpool
didn't even win
away.
that one.
Wow.
I look at that game and I don't look at any of the games we played under Lampard, and I thought we were unlucky. The most you get is the Madrid game, and even then I think like your shit lineup fucked it because why am I relying on N'Golo Kante to finish chances? That's not his game. He ain't that guy. Conor Gallagher, he's not that guy. Cucurella, whatever, it's Cucurella. I'm not going to say too much on that front. But the point still stands. Like, you shouldn't be questioning a manager's decision this constantly and not even turn around and think, okay, I understand it now. And this is where I'm so confused with the managers. Like, you should not be letting fans get the better of you. And when you do, you ain't cut out for it, bro. You are not cut out for it. I want to try and go through the lineup just before we wrap up. Do we want to do the lineup we want to see or the lineup we think Lampard is going to play?
Let's just end on a positive. Let's do what we want to see.
Cool. I'm glad you said that. Really glad you said it. So, back 4 or back 5? Silly question.
Back 5, obviously.
Again, are we thinking like Lampard or ourselves?
Ourselves, yeah, stick to it ourselves.
We want to see.
So, back 5, I think we're happy with the formation, or do you want 2 up top and 3 in midfield?
No, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's better. 3 up front. Please.
Do you not want to give Kepa another run out, or do you want to give Mendy a game?
Let's give
Like
Mendy
it
a
makes
game.
a difference.
Let's
Why
give
not?
Mendy a game.
Give Mendy a game.
How about we give Gabriel Slanina a game?
Not a chance.
I wouldn't be against it. Like, it's trash be garbage with the pair of them. I wouldn't even mind. It can't be worse. You know what? Fuck it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Do we have Slanina? Yeah. Welcome to Chelsea.
Yes. It's only because my name's in his name, so I have faith.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I see it. I see it.
Oh, does that mean Ben Chilwell has to fucking start now?
Yeah.
That means no. Right now, you put Ben Chilwell in that lineup right now. Look, if that's what we're doing, put Ben Chilwell in that lineup.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then you should
You're
put
not gonna have
Datro
anything
Fofana up top because Fofana's first letter of his
Actually,
name. And then
I
you can
want
play Lewis Hall.
I want Lewis Hall at wing back.
Lewis
There we
Hall,
go.
let's go. Lewis
Stillwell
Hall,
has
Hall.
been atrocious the last few games.
I
don't
oh,
want
is that what we're doing? Yeah, is that how we're doing it?
Hey,
Okay.
Lewis Hall.
Snaked
I'd rather
again.
Lewis
It's
Hall
fine.
play.
I've been snaked again.
What's
we have
wrong
a
with
Hall?
Lewis Hall?
There's
Nothing.
no. All right. Well, I guess we're gonna bring you in just because you're a random Hall. You can make the cut. Right wing back. Ruben. I wouldn't mind
Okay,
Ruben.
in it. Let's go, Ruben. Ruben for the dog.
Like
Better than
someone who
Aspilicueta.
could actually run for 90 minutes.
Ruben the dog. Let's go. Ruben with his cheek. Not
Yeah, big up Wolf's cheek.
Let's get the dog on, not the big dog.
Hmm?
Let's get the
Back 3, I feel kind of speaks for itself.
Badashile,
Badiashile,
Fofana, Silva.
Silva.
Yeah.
Thiago Silva.
Yeah, that's calm. No question marks on that. And I've spelled Silver wrong like an idiot.
And obviously Christensen. Oh, wait.
No, sadly, he ain't making the cut, sadly. He's too busy racking up clean sheets in Barcelona to give a shit about what we're doing. Right, Fofana, Silva, Badiashile. Midfield, Enzo Kante.
Enzo Kante.
Yeah, I'm done with Kovacic. He needs to leave, personally.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for the memories and everything, but like you clearly don't want to be here. It is what it
He
is.
might as well have helped Odegaard kick his goal and then
Right.
didn't even.
He has been playing for everybody else this season. Literally. Now, the confusing part. What do we
Modric
do here?
for
Modric,
Madrid
Madueke.
and Madueke. And
What am I
Modric,
talking
Madueke.
about? The wing? Yeah. My
Modric.
bad.
Come on, Lewis. Take notes like Lampard doesn't.
Oh, doesn't. I was going to say, not like him. Not like
Madueke,
him.
yeah.
Madueke.
Madueke.
I'd say Fofana. Datro Fofana. Give him a run out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I said.
Yeah, you know what? Cool.
That is
Anyone-
such a fresh front three. That is such
Any-
a fresh front three.
Anyone but Havertz.
Oh,
Yeah. Look at that. It's a breath of fresh air.
Lewis, why have you put Wesley Fofana up striker as well as?
oh.
Yeah, you have.
Because
I mean, the
There's
guy
no
makes
doubt
a
for
run
Fofana,
out
isn't
past
there?
the halfway line, so he could
Can't
be
be
up there.
bothered. There he is. There he is.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
a nice lineup.
See, we should all take the job together.
Yeah.
all
Throw
be
us in
manager.
there.
How good are we, or how bad are our managers?
Can someone
well,
send this
some-
through to the club?
Worst case scenario,
Yeah,
if the players
Chelsea,
are
are you
losing,
watching?
I'll just
Goalie,
throw
I know
some-
you know the channel. You met Alex. Let's not do this.
Big up,
But
Ruben.
yeah, that's a great lineup. I actually feel confident we could get a draw with that.
Absolutely.
Mm.
40
Yeah.
points. We've got
We
off.
get our magical 40 points. God forbid we find a way to lose with that lineup.
Oh, we will. It's Chelsea. It's a Chelsea thing.
Yeah, it would only be Chelsea. It would only be Chelsea. But yeah, guys, that concludes episode 9 of the Blue Balls podcast. It has been a very, very therapeutic episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hit the like button, subscribe again, check out everybody's socials. Literally the name on the corner. So you know what to do. Check us out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, and we will see you in Bournemouth for hopefully a point. Hopefully. But we'll see what happens.
Yay.
Like, subscribe, and pray for the Chelsea. Because we're not doing up.